Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will see how we can do a simple linear regression using Python Jupyter Notebook. The data that we are going to use is a dummy data which contains the salary of 50 graduates and their corresponding percentage marks in grade 10. Now before I begin, remember I do these videos on data analysis and visualization using Tableau and Python, and if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Let's start with a simple linear regression model. Now to keep this video simple and short, I have already written the codes and I will explain the process to you as we go along in this video. In first and foremost step, we need to import all the important libraries or packages we will be needing for this model. We can also import libraries while building the model. So I've already added them in the notebook here, and I'll explain to you as we use them in a model building moving forward. Now the next step for us is to load our dataset. And for loading our dataset into a data frame, we need to import pandas and numpy libraries. So we have already imported pandas as PD and numpy as NP. And now to load the dataset, we have that in an Excel format, and the path of the file is mentioned here. So we will read the Excel file and store it in sal_df. Let's run this. After loading our dataset, we have to see whether our dataset is loaded properly or not. To do that, we can call head function and see the rows and columns in our dataset. So here we are calling top 5 rows and columns, and let's see whether our data is loaded properly or not. So here we have the top 5 rows as well as the 2 columns that we have, that is percentage in grade 10 as well as salary. So percentage in grade 10 would be X and salary would be Y because it is dependent on the grade. Now the next step for us would be to get the information related to our dataset. By that we mean whether there are any null values in the dataset, the type of the data types that we have, as well as how many rows and how many columns do we have in our dataset. Now in order to get that kind of information, we can use .info function. Now when we run this function, we get the information of our dataset, which is there are 2 columns, there is no null value, the data type is float as well as integer, there are 50 rows in each column, and so this is the information that we get from information function. Now for us, the next step is to find whether there is any correlation between our X and Y, that is our percentage in grade 10 as well as salary. Now in order to find out the correlation, we will use the .core function. However, instead of putting it in just in the table, let's put it in a heat map. So when we talk about correlation, it gives whether there is a positive or a negative correlation between the variables, and here as we can see that there is a positive correlation between salary and percentage in grade 10. However, it is not much, it is just 0.4. Now let's move on to our next step, wherein we will have to identify the feature X and outcome variable Y in the data frame for building the model. Now what do we mean by that? So as you know that in the formula for our linear regression model is Y is equals to intercept plus slope into X plus error. Now for building a stats model for simple linear regression model, we will have to build stats model library. So for that, OLS API and stats model API is used for estimation of parameters for simple linear regression model, which we have already called or which we have already imported, as you can see here im- import statsmodel.api as sm. Now what this library does is it estimates only the coefficient of parameter x. So to estimate regression coefficient of the intercept, that is b0, we need to add a constant term of 1 as a separate column. So the equation for that is x is equal to sm dot add constant sal, that is our sal df, that is our data set, and we'll call percentage in grade 10, that is our x variable. Now after doing that, let's for y we will insert salary variable into y, and let's see what would be the outcome for that. As I have mentioned earlier, we have added a constant to calculate the intercept value, which will remain constant throughout. So here 1 is added as a constant and the x remains the percentage in grade 10. Now moving on to the next step, we will split the data into train and test data. To test the data into train and test or the validation set, we will use train test split function, which we will call from sklearn.model selection, and this is the code that we have to write for splitting the data. So here we will have x train, x test, y train, y test, and after calling train test and split, we will distribute our data into train size into 80% and test into 20%. Now once we run this, we can see that our data is split into training data set and test data set. So for x train shape, if we look at x train shape, we have 40,2, and for x test we have 10 rows, and the same applies to y, which is 40 and 10. Now let's move on to our next step, that is fitting the model. Now to fit the model, we'll be using OLS method for stats model and pass train y and train y and train x as parameters. So here we have called sm.ols and we have used y train and y train and x train and called the fit function to fit the model. Alternatively, we can also use linear regression method. Both of these would give us the same result. For the purpose of this video, I am using the sm.ols method, and if I run, for example, if I run the linear regression model, this will also give me the same results. Let me run it here and show it to you. And if I call the coefficient for LM, it gives me 3560 as a coefficient, and if I call the intercept here, it gives me 30587 as an intercept. So let's now use our OLS model and see if we get the same results. So in order to get the result, we need to print the parameters. So to print the parameters, we will have to call params function. So once we do that, we again get the same results as we got for linear regression method. So here the equation can be interpreted as follows, that is, for every 1% increase in grade 10, the salary of grad students will increase by 3560.58. In order to see the summarized version of our model, we will call summary to function, and once we run this, now we can see that it gives us the R squared value, which is 0.211, which shows that the model explains only 21% or 21.1% of the variation in salary. It also gives us the p value, which is 0.0029, which shows that there is a statistically significant relationship between x and y. Now let's move on to predicting our values of test data set. So to predict the values of our data set, we have to call dot predict function. So here I have added two variables, that is ypred test and ypred train. So and have inserted predicted values of test data as well as predicted values of train data. Now these predicted variables can be further used to compare the predicted versus actual values and can help us in measuring the accuracy of our model. Now in order to measure the accuracy of our prediction, there are several measures that can be used to measure the accuracy. However, we are using here R square as well as root mean squared error. Both these methods take predicted values and actual y values to calculate the accuracy measures. And in order to use these methods, we need to import R2 score and mean squared error from sklearn.metrics. Now once we run the R2 score, we'll see the results. That is again what we have seen above, that is it only explains 21.1% variation in our salary. We can do the similar calculation with the test data. Only change that we need to make is, instead of train, we will convert it into test, and now we can see that it shows 15.6% variation in our salary data. Similarly, we will run our root mean squared error, and to run our root squared error, we have already imported mean squared error, and let's run this. So the root mean squared error measures the average error the model makes in predicting the outcome. So here the smaller the value of RMSE, the better the model is. Here our value is very high, which shows that our model needs improvement. Again, if we see for our test data, does it show the same result? Here again it shows a very high number, which shows that the prediction numbers are not very accurate and the model needs improvement. Once we have measured the accuracy of our predictions, let's move on to visualizing our train data and our test data. So in order to visualize our train data, as in to see whether to the difference between our actual versus predicted values, this is the scatter plot that we will build. So once we build the scatter plot, we see that there is a difference, there's a major difference between actual versus predicted. And so what we have predicted, for example, here, once we again convert it into train and see, so approximate error between the predicted versus actual values would be more than 69,000, which we can see clearly through our scatter plot as well. So let's just print the actual versus predicted values of our train data set and see the results. So this is our results of our train data set, that is, this is our x value, this is the y value, which is original value, and this is our predicted value, that is predicted by our model, and this is the difference between the original and predicted value. So as you can see that there is a lot of scope of improvement in this model. However, this is how we do a simple linear regression model. I hope you find this video helpful, and if you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. and also don't forget to click on the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you and bye bye.